Boy, oh boy, if you think you're having a bad day, just be glad you aren't Ja Rule or one of the hundreds of millennials with more money than sense that he conned into a music festival on a private island in the Bahamas that was, they swear, once owned by Pablo Escobar. This is the strange, sad, fucked up tale of the Fyre Music Festival. Welcome to News Dump.
Music festivals, aside from the whole waiting in line to get in stuff and potentially getting your phone stolen stuff, are supposed to be a great time for everyone who shares either their absolute love for live music or absolute love of drugs and partying.
Yeah, man.
Regardless, everyone comes together to enjoy it, but for a select few high-profile celebrities, Instagram stars, and again, millennials with expendable income, they just learned the hard way that some things are actually too good to be true.
No.
Can you believe
A
it?
promo video on the internet wasn't real.
But I've been having everything go perfectly my entire life.
I'm white and I live in America. Well, the festival itself was being put together by early 2000s hip-hop star Ja Rule and a shady entrepreneur named Billy McFarland who has had his fair share of problems with consumers in the past. It was labeled as the ultimate exclusive festival experience, buzzwords, where they would take over a private island for a few days of music, fun in the sun, elegant amenities, and luxurious sleeping quarters. Prices that range anywhere from $4,000 to $12,000, and it went up from there. They booked headliners like Designer, Blink-182, Major Lazer, Migos, and so on. And it was being promoted by people like Kendall Jenner, who seriously can't seem to catch a fucking break, aside from being born into an extremely wealthy family that likes Pepsi. But what Fyre Festival has turned into has been described as hell on earth and a complete and utter shit show. So Ricky, what the hell happened?
Well, so according to numerous reports, including one Twitter account that had been actively pleading with people for months that this was all a scam. By the way, Reddit was down last night.
Oh,
and I was like, how am I gonna stay up all night?
What is...
Oh, cool, the Fyre Festival hashtag is trending. I wonder what this is. Hours later, what a trip I'd been on.
You were going off on it. I'm like, what the fuck? What is it? And then once I unwrapped that gift,
And a gift it was. So, according to all of those things, people became stranded while attempting to board flights to a private island, which was actually found out to just be a sandals resort instead of the luxury private island they'd been sold on. Now, for those who actually did arrive to the festival grounds before the airline stopped flying there, it was described as follows in a Reddit thread and some other experiences on Twitter. Now, Reddit user Zoe Advanced SP made a list of some of the things that they experienced, saying this.
All right, the private flights are chartered 737s with economy class seating and a soda and chips for each person. The luxury boutique accommodations are literal disaster relief tents with beds in them, even advertised as disaster relief tents on the manufacturer's website. Some sources claim it's the same ones used in the Haiti earthquake disaster.
The gourmet chef food handed out so far is 2 slices of bread, cheese slices, and a handful of greens in a styrofoam container. The private island is actually Great Exuma, which has a population of several thousand, with the festival taking place on a beach that's a stone's throw from a major resort. That would be the Sandals. That's nearby.
I got it. It's all inclusive. There was luggage stolen from campsites by locals. The music hasn't even started yet, and half the artists have canceled because they weren't paid, and now it looks like the entire festival is being called off, with all further flights canceled from the tarmac.
The U.S. Embassy in the Bahamas is currently offering instance to stranded festival goers. They can't get enough planes in fast enough because all the incoming Miami flights were canceled.
There's no refunds at this time. The website has made a statement saying all sales are final.
Yeah.
Oh!
Fun.
You
Fun
mean,
in the sun.
You mean the 2 pieces of white American cheese, which by the way, white American cheese on that bread, like that is what a stoner would make and then just be sad. Like it just...
I'm Gordon Ramsay.
It looked real bad.
Yeah, so there's plenty to say about the people that were affected by this, and we'll get to that. But there's also plenty of photos being shared online of the food and housing situations. And yeah, it looks pretty dire, to say the least. There's also reports that at some point a container filled with more luggage showed up in the middle of the night, and they just started tossing bags out into the crowd of people that were eager to put on some clean clothes.
Here you go.
Now, some festival goers were locked indoors with no air conditioning, no food, and no water. But one of the saddest photos was of one lonely concierge desk, not even fully assembled. And that's where eager festival goers probably thought that they could find some help. But no, they couldn't. It wasn't even built.
Let's just go to the blue desk or the blue. Oh, you mean this thing where there's probably
Just head to the big blue water thing and keep swimming.
Yikes. It's not just pictures, there's videos as well. Shots of people driving by what seriously look like tent cities or refugee camps with just trash everywhere. No sign of anything that anyone paid for, but at least one person saw this all coming. And it's whoever's running the Fyre Fraud account on Twitter who've been trying to tell people for weeks that they're just getting scanned. Look at some of these posts. They're ridiculous.
From March 28th, hashtag Fyre Festival is a fraud. They sold tickets to a festival on a private island once owned by Escobar, when really it's to a sandals resort.
Boom. One from the same day where they responded to a post from the women's lifestyle account who posted, a quick question, what's Fyre Festival and why are all the models in the Bahamas promoting it? To which they replied, quick answer, models were paid to sell you a product that was never real.
One day later, where they respond to a tweet from Ja Rule himself, who said, hashtag Fyre Festival facts. It's gonna take 20,000 pounds of ice a day to keep your drinks as cool as you, sunglasses emoji. The account stated back to him, how do you transport and store this to a private island? Stop lying to people. You ran out of money and switched it.
And here's a few more. Just received a message from someone thinking about giving Fyre a $3 million loan so they can pay their vendors. 2 weeks out, this is going on.
Fyre Festival has now turned off comments on its Instagram. Once again, Fyre Festival is a fraud.
Fyre Festival is changing people's itineraries at the last second. Can't afford charter planes. Prepare to be stuck in Miami.
The luxury festival tents are leftover disaster relief shelters from US Aid. Fyre Festival scammed us. Then the days finally came and it all fell apart, just as this account had predicted.
God, I wish I would have shorted Fyre Festival. After the reports started coming out, Blink-182 posted the following to their Twitter. Regrettably, after much careful and difficult consideration, we want to let you know that we won't be performing at Fyre Fest in the Bahamas this weekend and next weekend. We're not confident that we would have what we would need to give you the quality performances we always give our fans. Also, Major Lazer was booked to appear somewhere else entirely, so who knows if that was even a thing or they just put his name on a list.
Yeah, they were like, oh, Major Lazer is going to perform at the fest, but also they're going to be halfway across the world as well. And I know Major Lazer is a couple people, so they could have switched it, but you know what it is.
It's you're not going to get a Tupac hologram here of Major Lazer.
That's true. The hologram budget was spent very early on. It's all hologram food and tents.
On bag salads and styrofoam containers.
Since the collapse of this music festival first started showing up on Thursday, it's honestly taken the internet by storm in a way that can be only compared to the recent Pepsi ad debacle, which also mysteriously involved Kendall Jenner.
Uh-oh, I'm sensing a trend here.
It's becoming the butt of a lot of jokes and shown to be the embarrassment and hardship needed to finally shut up a bunch of annoying and privileged young people. And since no one's lives are really in danger, seriously, they're like fucking walking distance to a sandals resort. They could be drinking Mai Tais with Michael Scott within an hour.
And get your one little braid.
We think that it's fine to laugh and ridicule these people. And ridicule everyone. Everyone involved in it, all the ticket buyers, everyone who bought tickets, even people that set up the thing, promoted it, and just the failure of the festival in general. It should be mocked.
It should be. That paying that much money, the lineup's not even that great.
Yeah, paying that much, like okay, cool, yeah, Blink-182, they're playing how many shows this year?
Yeah.
Migos showed up fucking 12 times at Coachella.
Every set, everyone set, they popped
Ja
in
Rule
on.
played a show last night, well, we're recording on this on Friday. Ja Rule played a show Friday night, or Thursday night in Chicago, hundreds of miles away from the Bahamas.
Far
And the
away.
reports, I can't confirm this, but the reports are that the entrepreneur, the one that has a history of screwing people over, was on a yacht just a couple hundred feet off the shore partying while all of this garbage was happening.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You guys sit at the kids' table. I'll be on my
It looks like fucking
yacht.
District 9 there.
The photos are crazy. Just when you see them, it's like they cut off half of Epcot Center and then just sadness.
Yeah.
It's just fluorescent lights and folding chairs and anyway. On the official Fyre Festival site, they posted the following statement Friday morning. Fyre Festival set out to provide a once-in-a-lifetime musical experience on the islands of the Exumas. Due to circumstances out of our control, the physical infrastructure was not in place on time, and we are unable to fulfill on that vision safely and enjoyably for our guests. At this time, we are working tirelessly to get flights scheduled and get everyone off Great Exuma and home safely as quickly as we can. We as guests currently on island do not make their own arrangements to get to the airport as we are coordinating those plans. We are working to place everyone on complimentary charters back to Miami today. This process has commenced and the safety and comfort of our guests is our top priority. the festival is being postponed until we can further assess if and when we are able to create the high-quality experience we envisioned. We ask for everyone's patience and cooperation during this difficult time as we work as quickly and safely as we can to remedy this unforeseeable situation. We will continue to provide regular updates via email to our guests and via our official social media channels as they become available. My mouth tastes like shit after saying all those lies.
But yes, the people behind this thing, they need to be shamed. Specifically Billy McFarland, because he habitually fucks people over. But he's not a celebrity, nor should he ever be. So it really seems like no one is gonna get this harder than poor old Ja Rule, who was probably just conned by that entrepreneur douche into promoting and being an integral part of this music festival under the guise that it would maybe rekindle a bit of his career with the young people. I love the young people. How many times we gotta teach you a lesson, old man? He also probably thought he was gonna get a bunch of money after it was all said and done, because I'm sure that Billy McFarland was like, you get a percentage.
Yeah, you get a cut of...
But 50% of zero, what is it?
Zero?
It's zero. I was doing one of those Nickelodeon learning show kind of things where you point at everyone. They got it though, it's fine.
You guys.
Anyways, he tweeted early Friday morning, Ja Rule, tweeted saying this: "We are working right now on getting everyone off the island safe. That is my immediate concern. I will make a statement soon. I'm heartbroken at this moment. My partners and I wanted this to be an amazing event. It was not a scam, as everyone is reporting. I don't know how everything went so left, but I'm working to make it right by making sure everyone is refunded. I truly apologize, as this is not my fault, but I'm taking responsibility. I'm deeply sorry to everyone who was inconvenienced by this."
At least, here's what I will say, at least this is an apology where you see so much from these corporate events and these people that we've been hearing over and over, these
agree with you.
non-ologies.
I do agree with you, but within his apology twice, he said it's not
Not
his
my fault.
basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I
He
take
took another page from the YouTube apology book.
I take it the way Ja Rule.
No. So anyways, as I wrote this script, it was midday on Friday, so I'm sure more and more information will be spilling out over the next few hours and days. But don't worry, everyone. Calm down, because just like at Coachella, I'm sure that they'll smooth things out in preparation for a flawless event next weekend at Weekend 2. I can't wait. But it's fucking news dump, so let's talk about movie and TV news before I head out on my private jet to the Bahamas for Weekend 2. Obviously,
We're gonna hang out.
Obviously, the biggest bombshell story this week in entertainment news is that the hit 90s sitcom Roseanne might be making a comeback.
Wow.
And that's not all. I know you're excited, but get ready. They're bringing back the original cast to do this too. Roseanne Barr, John Goodman, Sarah Gilbert, and there's more tentatively signed on. They're apparently ready to go with this new series.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I liked Roseanne as a kid. The later seasons when all that.
Oh, we talk about that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you remember correctly, seriously, by the way, we'll stop talking about 90s sitcom Roseanne really soon, I promise. If you remember correctly, Roseanne had one of the weirdest fucking endings of any show ever.
Yeah.
In the final seasons, Dan, her husband, played by John Goodman, has a heart attack and the family wins the lottery.
Woohoo.
Then in the final episode, it turns out that the whole fucking series was just written by the main character and none of it was real except for that Dan did have a heart attack and he died. Bwah, Inception horns. So yeah, it'll be cool to see how they spin off of that. But for real, we'll stop talking about it now because although it's true, we're sure you don't give one fuck about that.
I also was writing a story about writing a story, but in that story that I wrote about the story, Dan's actually alive and he survived it. But we didn't win the lottery. And anyways, this new season's gonna be great. I can't wait for you guys to see it.
Inception 2, Tom Arnold's asshole.
Now, let's move on to real stuff that you care about because, you know, I'd say that Jeff Goldblum is having a bit of a career renaissance right now with his roles in things like Thor Ragnarok.
Little blue stripe here.
But he's always been around, and he's always been cherished as someone we all grew up admiring for his specific brand of acting and his oozing male sexuality. I don't know why I pointed to you for that, but sure. Seriously though, things are going great for him right now because aside from Thor Ragnarok, he's just been brought back into the franchise that brought him to the forefront of people our age. Jurassic Park. I thought it was a soft J. He'll be joining the rest of the already established cast for the sequel to Jurassic World, which comes out just over a year from now on June 22nd, 2018. And producer Frank Marshall had this to say about the return of Goldblum. I'm excited to have him back. The world has changed a lot since Ian Malcolm went to Jurassic Park, and we need his point of view now more than ever. He told us about chaos theory. He was right. So,
boom.
A little foreshadowing for you there.
I don't know, but is Chris Pratt gonna do this pose again?
I hope so.
Uh-oh. In other blast from the past news, the Masters of the Universe movie, aka the He-Man movie, that's what we call it in my household, aka the movie that we keep forgetting is still an actual possibility. I don't call it that. It's still apparently happening, and they've even set a release date for 2019.
Plenty of room to fail.
Almost 2020, but yeah, just a nice long runway so you can...
Hindsight will be 2020 when this movie comes out.
Bam, that's the tagline. But with that news came the fact that project director Mick G, who's most famous for directing Terminator Salvation and the Charlie's Angels movie, will no longer be in the director's chair, this time leaving it open for someone else who thinks they can do this film justice. Like, oh yeah, like I'm a He-Man guy.
Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright.
Guillermo del Toro.
him,
Every
then he
fucking
bounces.
comment. Edgar Wright.
I could see Guillermo del Toro trying something.
Both
here.
of those are fantastic directors.
Yes.
I'm just saying that the pool from which people take their suggestions is very small.
It's a very, very
The
small.
Russo brothers.
Yeah, they're fucking not busy at all.
Yeah.
But it is definitely a risky task because of how silly the source material is. If you remember, his eyebrows were brown and his hair's blonde. Why? I don't know. Don't ask me. So at the
Who
very
needs another
least,
powerful white man?
For the power of white men. So at the very least, it will be interesting to find out who they land on because that will certainly dictate the tone, which it could go in a lot of directions.
Make it a fucking slapstick comedy.
If I had to guess, what I would say is I know they didn't start this genre, but what they did with 21 Jump Street.
Yeah.
I heard about that and I was like, you guys are idiots. Stop digging shit up from the past. But I enjoyed
great.
the first one, the second one.
Yeah.
A little tongue in cheek. And that's kind of what some of the Marvel movies are. I'm not saying it'll go like full Deadpool when it comes to like over the top.
I think it'd be great because Skeletor he's not scary anymore.
No.
He's
Well,
been
'cause
made
you're
fun
not
of so many
4.
times. Yeah.
When you're 4,
But even in pop culture,
Skeletor's
he's been made
fucking
fun of so
scary.
many times.
Yeah.
They made fun of him in the like the CKY videos, Robot Chicken. Like there's so many things that just like take him down a peg.
Yeah.
It would be great to see that kind of Skeletor, just
With
like
like a complex.
yeah, like they both hate each other, but they're both just like terrible people.
Yeah. I don't know.
No,
He-Man
anyways.
was.
Don't they have
something.
that fucking animated show on Fox now too? That's kind of like that, but it's like He-Man came into the real
Son
world.
of Zorn.
Yeah,
I watched.
We don't need the He-Man movie.
We have a lot, and anyway, Son of Zorn is basically like a regular show where they just if you feel shoehorned in, it's not. I watched one episode, I was like, pass.
We'll let you out of here. I know you want to enjoy your weekend. Before we get out of this whole thing, though, we have a trailer to show off, and that's the trailer for the Kingsman sequel, Kingsman: The Golden Circle. We've said this numerous times. You're tired of hearing it, but Kingsman quickly became one of our favorite spy/action films of all time, and it's great to finally see some new footage from the sequel because we've definitely been waiting patiently for it. Have a lot of faith in this project. Hopefully it's going to take the best parts of the original and make them even better, especially with the addition of Channing Tatum and Julianne Moore. They're going to be great additions to the franchise. And of course, the fact that Matthew Vaughn is still directing it, that's the best sign that it's going to be good. If he had been replaced, you're not going to get the same
Big
movie.
question mark,
This is
big
his
question
baby. I'm very excited for it. Kingsman: Golden Circle hits theaters September 22nd of this year. Thank you for filling in for Elliot.
You got
Finally, he was the one that was gone and I was here.
Yeah,
because
so-
typically I do the movie trips. And
Ricky goes to at Fyre Festival every 3 weeks, and then I
Gotta do my Fyre Fest.
Step in and be him. But hey,
now you're Elliot. How does it feel?
Chimmy.
No, you're not shit.
Nope. Okay.
Watch our most recent episode of Weekly Weird News, and also we have a brand new episode of Tugs where is Call of Duty World War II racist because it happened in the 40s? I don't know. Also buy our merch, etcmerch.com, and have a good weekend at Fyre Fest.
Bye.